What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Based on what they said, I think they only know about skills given directly by Velgrynd. Skills obtained on their own are probably unknown to them unless they're close by.
That makes sense. It's annoying that someone can easily get information from my labyrinth, but if it's being used effectively, I have no complaints.
I nodded in agreement, assuring Ramiris that her efforts have not gone unnoticed. The labyrinth's significance was duly acknowledged.
Feel free to shower me with more praise.
Ramiris was clearly pleased by this. Shifting the focus away from the previous comment, I redirected the conversation.
It seems that Leon has been keeping his skills under wraps, so it might take some time for word to get out.
Revealing one's hand would be unwise, except under specific circumstances.
Leon sighed resignedly.
I see.
Guy seemed convinced by this.
Indeed, Leon is correct. While there's a risk of being discovered if they get too close, and I acknowledge the uncertainty, we shouldn't be overly cautious and part ways.
I have no objections to that.
Ramiris summed it up, with DeGruel agreeing. Despite their differences, they seemed to be on the same page. Although they exchanged disapproving glances, they kept their composure during the disagreement.
I trust Rimuru's and Leon's integrity.
Milam affirmed, showing her support. Just when I thought the matter was settled, Ramiris interjected unnecessarily.
Indeed, we might need to keep an eye on Leon-chan, so who will handle that task?
If I were to step in at this moment.
Rimuru-kun.
Enough, I understand, no need to explain further.
As expected, I agreed and took on the task of monitoring Leon.
Dino's departure was unavoidable, but it seems the 7 of us gathered here are now comrades. We're all well aware of the formidable enemy we face.
Regarding our supervision of Leon, we'll discuss that later.
So, Guy, what's your plan regarding Michael?
Huh? I'll obliterate him, obviously.
So it's going to be an all-out war.
Ramiris pondered aloud, echoing the sentiment shared by everyone present.
This is getting interesting.
It's my chance to demonstrate my strength. Whether it's Feldway or Michael, I'll defeat them with one blow.
Phantom King Feldway, huh? With his return, it seems inevitable that we'll have to vie for control over the land.
Milam's statement aside, Ramiris was getting carried away with her grandiose fantasies. Still, even though defeating them with a single blow might be unrealistic, considering the importance of the labyrinth, I refrained from teasing her further.
Do you have any idea of the enemy's strength?
When Leon inquired, Guy shook his head.
We know that the 7 primordial angels, including Feldway and Dino and Michael, who has taken over for Rudra, are all leading the charge.
And now Velgrynd has joined our enemies. This Tenma Great War is going to be tough.
Sorry?
The Tenma Great War?
Exactly. Isn't this the war that happens roughly every 500 years, where Rudra has the power to summon angels?
DeGruel's revelation shocked everyone, including me.
What? DeGruel, you can't be serious.
Ramiris scolded him, but Guy stepped in.
Relax, Ramiris. What DeGruel said is true. Rudra has the skill Army of Angels, Armageddon, which lets him summon and control an army of angels. But he struggles to control them and can only give basic commands.
Guy explained that this skill gets activated every 500 years. However, since the summoned angels don't have physical forms, they can only stay for a week before disappearing. This new information is important, but I wish he had shared it earlier.
I've got a question.
What is it?
Do angels, like demons, become part of the world when they incarnate?
Oh, I didn't need to ask. Momiji, who is Benimaru's wife and a Tengu, was born from an angel incarnating into a wolf. It's not surprising that many such races were born during the war. If that's the case, I just can't shake this bad feeling.
It was the forbidden spell Dead Birthday.
You're amazing, Seal-san. You knew exactly what I was thinking.
Seems like you've got something on your mind. Tell me, I'll listen.
Guy asked me, so I answered without hiding anything.
Do you guys know Kazalim the Curse Lord? The truth is, Kazalim is being controlled by the enemy, and they're mass-producing undead elves.
I told him to disrupt the ritual whenever he could, but I don't know how effective that was.
Dead Birthday. How many tens of thousands perished?
Yuki's mixed core sacrificed around 60,000 people, resulting in nearly 10 beings being born at most.
So he focused on the individual instead of just numbers. In that case, he might be as powerful as Clayman. It's a perfect vessel for the primordials to incarnate.
Oh, Guy misunderstood. I have other worries, so I need to clarify.
No, not that. The 7 primordial angels already incarnated a long time ago. Feldway and the others were incarnated in the other world, and Dino's colleagues.
I think their names were
Pico and Gracia.
Yes, that's right. Ramiris helped me once again, so I'm thankful.
So, what you're concerned about is.
Yeah, so I was thinking that the higher angels summoned by the army of angels, Armageddon, could be reborn as undead elves. Angels aren't known for being egotistical, right? So, if you use the soul of someone with a strong ego as the core, you might end up creating a powerful new race that also harnesses the angel's power.
Everyone, not just Guy, went quiet at this suggestion from me. After a moment of silence, they exchanged looks and muttered things like, "No way, that sounds risky," or, "You really come up with some wild ideas." I wasn't saying this to stir trouble, it was just a possibility I had thought of.
Rimuru-kun, do you think there's a good chance of that happening?
Don't talk to me like I'm to blame for it.
Got it. So, what's your take on it?
I'd give it a shot if I were them. If it fails, you only lose a few undead elves.
Same here, no use in having weak minions.
Guy and I agreed, while the other demon lords seemed taken aback by our discussion. I don't see what the big deal is. Anyone would try to boost their power in that situation.
Don't give me that look. We're not sure what'll happen, but we should prepare for the worst, right?
I raised my voice, sparking a flurry of opinions, with Ramiris leading the charge.
That makes sense, but
You're off your rocker. It's scary how confident you are in handling this.
You're right, Rimuru. Seraphim are top-tier angels, but I bet someone as tough as Claimant could stand up to their power. It could elevate them to the level of an awakened demon lord.
if we have lots of beings like DISCLAIMER appearing, we need to be on high alert. Louis and Gunther will definitely have their hands full.
It wasn't so much a complaint about me as it was about the challenge of facing them.
Guy-san, it appears that everyone's feeling rather discontent. Since you're in charge, perhaps it's a good idea for you to address the situation with them.
Remember, I've asked you not to use honorifics like san in these contexts, right? We're all equals here, so let's keep it that way. It wouldn't hurt for you to handle this.
Stop it. You're the one adding the kun to my name. And why am I the one stuck with this responsibility in the first place?
I shouted out what I wanted to say without any hesitation. Feeling refreshed and calm now, I was fine with Guy, even though he can be intimidating.
No problem at all. Let's just blow them all up.
Exactly. With Master Veldora here, we don't need to be scared.
Milam and Ramiris always bring optimism to our meetings. They seem so happy, it's really admirable. By the way, Veldora, who Ramiris relies on, is probably engrossed in reading manga in another room. Lately, he's been diving into a long historical text in search of wisdom. He'll probably come up with some sort of clever plan, and it'll be up to me to figure it out, so I shouldn't get my hopes up too high. Either way, I'll just take it as a blessing not to be interrupted.
The situation is more complex than that. Besides Velzard, isn't Velgrynd also in enemy hands? Even with Veldora on our side, the enemy still has the upper hand. Honestly, I'm not keen on relying on that unreliable dragon.
You're right, Veldora doesn't seem very dependable. He's too timid around his sisters, and he was recently captured by the enemy.
Oh, Velgrynd is fine.
I was distracted, so my response was absent-minded. That was definitely a slip-up.
How can you be so sure?
It was too late once I realized my mistake. I intended to be more cautious with my words, but now that it's out there, I have to be honest.
Throughout our battle, Velgrynd managed to break free from the ultimate dominion. Now that she no longer possesses the ultimate skill, Charity King Regule, she's no longer susceptible to Michael's control.
Huh?
All I can do now is keep my cool.
Well, it was quite the challenge. I was so focused that before I knew it, victory was within reach.
The demon lord's skeptical glances towards me were quite uncomfortable. But if I fail here, they might force me to spill the beans.
What on earth did you do?
Even Guy seemed taken aback.
That's classified information.
I need to keep mum about my abilities. It's hard to believe and would only raise more suspicion. Moreover, if Leon was truly being controlled, my powers could be exposed to the enemy. I might be overthinking it, but it's the best way to prevent that scenario.
You never change, you miserly rascal.
It's not about being cheap. It's a strategic move.
Well, leaving DISCLAIMER aside, haven't we all seen a skill evolve?
I haven't witnessed anything like that.
Well, yeah. Despite some objections, I'll continue explaining without dwelling on them.
Velgrynd was in a similar situation and her skill evolved during our fight. She called it Charity King Regule.
I may have exaggerated a bit, but everyone seemed to grasp the idea.
I don't recall it either, but it rings a bell.
Skills evolving in battle is uncommon, but not unheard of.
That's what happened to me. I staked everything on my potential in a life or death situation and gained Purity King Metatron as a result.
He seems convinced based on his own experience. That's a relief. If I act like I'm unaware of Velgrind's current abilities, I can play dumb about Divine Flame King Cthulhu, the ultimate skill. Actually, it was Seal-san who did it, so it's not my fault either.
I used to think the ultimate skill was the best, but there's still room for improvement. I have a lot to learn. I was too proud to think I had reached my limit.
Guy muttered, wrapping up the topic. Although I felt the conversation wasn't progressing well, I decided to review it again. It's crucial to identify the enemy's forces, so we need to put in all our efforts.
Is Velgrynd really okay now?
Yes, she's protecting the chosen hero Masayuki. We have a friendship, so we'll help each other out if needed.
So, can we consider them as potential allies?
I'm not sure if this is a selfish decision, but I believe they'll assist us if asked.
Wouldn't it be best to avoid hostility altogether? I don't want to face them in battle again.
Agreed. It's a rare feat to defeat that creature, so well done. With Velzard turning against us, we can't afford to lose Velgrynd too.
Guy seems irritated, but I know he means well. Only a few of us here can take on a true dragon. Me, Guy, and Milam. And then possibly De Gruel? It's good news if we can lessen our enemies. Oh, and there's one more thing.
Speaking of Velgrynd, let me mention this. 4 of the 7 primordial angels have crossed over to the other world, including Feldway, and 3 of them targeted Ramiris's labyrinth.
Right. I managed to fend them off on my own.
Ramiris nodded, recalling the incident. I quickly continued explaining to keep the conversation going smoothly.
They identified themselves as Phantom King Feldway and his 3 Phantom Commanders.
They've been trying to harm humans in our world for ages. We call them demons, but they're actually phantoms.
I always believed that all enemies of humanity were called demons, but apparently that wasn't entirely accurate. Velgrynd-san managed to defeat one of the 3 Phantom Commanders, so that's worth noting.
I think it was Kornu who got taken out, and it seems like he crossed a line when he provoked Masayuki that touched Velgrynd's nerve. I could sense Velgrynd's power had increased, but I was still amazed that she could take down a formidable opponent like the 3 Phantom Commanders.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Jared Bressler, Chad Vota, Nate, Havox, Speed Saber, Curtis Loban, Judah Herrera, Just a Guy, Miss L.W. Hernandez, Jason Martin, Zach Rossan, Jerry Sladek, Ray Perez, Donald Williams, Moab A, Day of Light, John M, Godman Gaming, Markithian Tidwell, Adrian, Kumo, Sanketh Chelu, T. Bush, John L, Edgar Fuentes, JV, Dirty Old Hobo, Thomas, J, Christ, Juan Ignacio, Joshua Cousins, Jose Hernandez, Vethelny, Lunel Scarlett, Khaled, Christian Deshazer, Cal Robs, Divine C. Harris, Panda Cats, DeAndre Nance, Monty Boy 98, D-Man, Ruben, Yuki Iki, Gray, Chris Jr., Isaac, Koala King 93, Paul DeGrassi, Little 95, Quilly Buckner, Zephyrus, Alver, Normal Defate, Joshua Andrade, L, Gary Miles, Dragon Spawn 666, J. Rule, Liron Sangkap, Lucas Gay, Jason Martin, Echo Ski, Foolish Prophets, Ethan Madison, Sky T, Diego Ginoza, Andre Hamilton, Jason Torres, Sesh, Guy Ansley, Simon Road, Emperor WSA, Mika Espinosa, George Hage, Gobi Lin, Pratik Bandari, Arod Dare, Faiz Mansour, Jackson Early, Smexy, Carl Stephen Bernadel, Gareth Hashimoto, Steven Madison, Homelike Drop, Vasto Lord, Martin Ramos, Marl Barsha, Hansel Ortega, Karam Faraj, Efrain Hernandez, Luca Gaming WTF, William Locke, Jordan Mersha, Kamal Luke, Spencer Candila, Ian Sikibuyol, Potate, Thanakorn Lee Sawat, Lamar, KACP9R, Tony, C. Clark. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.